With their 4th trip to the World Series in 8 seasons, they won it all in 2020, looking for their first World Series win in a full season since 1988. And Jack Flaherty starts game 1. Torres climbs in, and off we go. With a fastball up to 96, which is a promising first sign.
Yeah, Jack Flaherty's going to have to throw enough fastballs to make his breaking balls an issue for the Yankee offense. And that's a good sign, because this last game he really struggled mechanically keeping his front side in there, and his fastball location was not good, and therefore his game was not good. And if he's going to face this team that doesn't chase very much, he got to get ahead of the count, win the count.
Ooh, got squeezed a little bit there. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Chase refers to anything outside the strike zone that you can get a hitter to swing at that would be a ball, and basically both these teams own the strike zone.
Torres on 2-1. Pulls it to third, and a hot shot caught by Muncy.
This series for everybody is going to be like drinking water out of a fire hose. There are so many things that this series represents, and we'll try to drip it to you the best we can, but this is the matchup. These 2 guys are what makes the Yankees so special.
Yeah, this is the guy that changed everything for the Yankees. 82 and 80 last season. They trade for Juan Soto, really the one guy that it felt like could unlock that roster. And it's the least surprising thing ever that he's been a perfect fit in New York, and that he's once again owned the postseason. On a 1-0 from Flaherty, Soto takes ball 2.
Well, that's what Flaherty has to do. He's not going to throw him a ton of fastballs, but he's got to have his slider in the zone and curveball away that he tried to backdoor right there, and then every once in a while sneak a fastball away to kind of get him guessing. That's the pitch, and that's the call he's got to get. He didn't get that call, and that's why Soto is now commanding the respect of everybody, because his eye is so good and his on-base percentage. He gets on base just about as good as anybody.
Well, we talk about them getting transformed by him showing up. He's the guy that embodies that approach that they've become as a lineup. Just such a stubborn hitter. And he's got a 4-pitch walk. First base runner for the Yankees is Juan Soto.
Well, early on, okay, this is just early on, it looks like it's a hitter's strike zone. So what I mean by that, the strike zone's going to be called tight. That means the stuff that you have as a pitcher is going to have to be electric in the strike zone to get outs. Otherwise, it's going to be tough going for the pitchers tonight.
All right, John, here he is. Aaron Judge, larger than life, playing in his first World Series. And a pinpoint fastball for strike 1.
And that's where you got to put it. I mean, such a big hitter, 6'8". He has a hard time. If you establish fastballs away, then you can get him to chase at breaking balls away.
58 home runs, 144 driven in for Judge this year. He swings and misses as the bottom falls out of that curve.
And that's the key. Because Flaherty can spin it really well, he's got a breaking ball that's a curve ball that goes down more, and then a tighter slider that's going to be off that fastball that's tough to pick up.
Yeah, the Yankees have reached this first World Series since 2009, even though they've not gotten much from their biggest star. Judge had that home run against Clase in Game 3, but he's just 5 for 41 in this postseason. On an 0-2 for Flaherty, leaves it in the dirt, ball 1.
With these hitters, when you make the pitch that he made previous, the natural human process is I can make a better pitch. And then what you end up doing is wasting a couple pitches to get the hitter back in the count.
Swing and a miss. He got him with a slider.
Again, all set up by that first fastball that he dotted on the outside part of the corner. Allows this slider, which is in the zone, for Aaron Judge to be in between and miss it.
Well, John, with the way that Judge relatively has struggled, what Giancarlo Stanton's done in this postseason, that much more important. And once again, October has transformed this guy into a different dude.
His timing, his legs, his mechanics are really good at the plate right now. When he's calm and letting pitches travel and doesn't have roller skates on his spikes, meaning his feet are all over the place, he's comfortable. And when a hitter's comfortable with that kind of power, he's looking for a mistake, and then he does not miss it.
4 home runs in 5 games in the championship series. The ALCS MVP. Ahead of Jack Flaherty, 2 balls, 1 strike. Rewarding performance sponsored by Capital One. He makes his World Series debut at Dodger Stadium, the place he says made him love baseball. Grew up coming to games here with his dad, and since becoming a big leaguer, 10 home runs in 25 games here. Runner at first, 2 out, 2-1. Is inside, ball 3.
Soto controlled the count. He got a walk. Stanton controlling the count. 3-1. Dangerous pitch here to a hitter with this kind of power.
Flaherty throws, and Stanton takes generous inside corner there. A little bit all over so far from Carlos Torres.
That again is so key to establish your fastball. Now he can spin it if he wants to. He's got Stanton just a little bit guessing after hitting that fastball.
Bouncing ball to short, and Tommy Edman, who kicks it, and an error opens the door for the Yankees here in the first. Tommy Edman, the NLCS MVP, so sure-handed all year, with an error in the first inning here of the World Series.
Tremendous topspin on this ball. He hits it straight down into the ground, and it takes a huge hop. The in-between hop for a shortstop gives them the most trouble after it comes off the grass, and it ate him up. To me, this next batter is probably the most important batter for the Yankees. He started off great. He's been cold lately. He breaks up the right-handers, and he's got electricity in his bat, according to his manager.
Jazz Chisholm squares around and takes strike 1. Traded from the 100-loss Marlins to the pennant-winning Yankees, and he's talked about loving the big moment. Talk about his energy, the joy that he plays with. He was really good in the 2 months after the trade, but he's 5 out of 34 in the postseason. The chance to atone for that here. Bounces one right side. Routine ground ball for Gavin Lux. Against Garrett Cole, who makes his 4th start in what has been an up-and-down postseason. But, John, if Cole and the Yankee starters pitch the way they're capable of, this becomes the biggest single advantage in this series.
Yeah, it really is. They need Garrett Cole to continue kind of the record they have in his starts in the postseason. 13-7 when he starts. He's off to a big-time challenge facing this guy.
The one-of-a-kind Shohei Ohtani. Swings at the first pitch, sends a fly ball to center field. Judge is backing up, and he just misses, homering on the first pitch of his World Series career.
There is nothing better and more nervous than to throw a first pitch fastball to Ohtani. But the best part is you get an out. The nervous part is you think you might have given up a home run. So challenged him right away. Garrett Cole may not have his electric fastball that he had before he got hurt, but he's still got a good enough fastball. He pitches with gears, 2-seam fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup.
From one MVP to another here in Mookie Betts, that's strike 1. Of course, Ohtani, John, is the headliner, but then you've got Betts, who came to life in the championship series. 346, 2 home runs, and 9 driven in against the Mets.
When you play with the greatest player in the game, he makes the other greatest players in the game look a little normal. He made Mike Trout look normal. And now Mookie Betts, he's one of the top 5 in the game, and he gets to bat behind the greatest player in the game. That makes the Dodgers special.
Lifts his fly ball to left field. Verdugo paused at first, now goes back onto the track, and a couple long flyouts to open the day for Cole. Couple beats the heart skip, but 2 up and 2 down.
Yeah, that's a little unusual with 2 strikes, but for Garrett Cole, the most surprising thing we saw when I looked through all the data, he has not struck out a right-handed batter now in 43 straight at-bats. That is shocking to me when I looked at it.
Having to evolve, learn different ways to get guys out, not totally overwhelming as he's been throughout his career. Freddie Freeman's back in the lineup for the Dodgers, battling that ankle injury. And they're hoping that close to a full week off is going to load that tank up enough for him to be more himself.
Yeah, and the one thing that people have to understand, what he's battling through, you need your legs, your feet, you hit from the ground up. He's still good enough to hit with his upper body, but he loses the power and the bat speed on the pitches inside.
And he's in an 0-2 hole.
been a simple game plan so far for Garrett Cole. He's throwing his fastball, seeing what happens, and 2 outs and 0-2 on the third hitter.
So 6 pitches in. Comes back home with an 0-2 to Freeman. It is a fastball upstairs.
You will see his velocity go up when he's in a jam. But I think until there's a jam or runners on, he's going to be in cruising speed, trying to make pitches location-wise more than velocity.
Breaking pitches, punched by the bag and down the left field line for Freddie Freeman. Going to test that ankle right away. He'll cruise into second and think about 3 as Verdugo can't play it cleanly. Freeman's into third. Oh, you talk about testing the ankle in a big way. A base hit turns into 3. You just never bet against Freddie Freeman.
No, and teams keep shifting him, and he can do this at will. When you shift him way off the line, this is what he can do. And that bad bounce off the corner of the stands allowed this triple to be had by Freddie Freeman.
First extra base hit for Freddie Freeman in a month. Back to when he injured that ankle final week of the regular season. This is not exactly the extra base hit that you picture, but he'll take it. And the Dodgers have a runner at third with 2 away for Teoscar Hernandez. Strike 1.
Teoscar had a rough last series, but his last game was encouraging for the Dodgers. He got flatter with his bat in the zone, was getting too much tilt and swinging uncharacteristically in that previous series.
Because he was their best hitter during the division series against San Diego. And he rips one to short here that's caught by Volpe. No score on to the second inning, and Anthony Rizzo to lead things off. 429 in the championship series with 2 broken fingers. The Yankees first baseman takes strike 1 from Jack Flaherty. They say that it's mostly bothering him defensively. You'll see him catch with 2 hands, but at the plate he says the adrenaline kind of kicks in and he's doing just whatever he can to contribute. A lot of that's just been flipping the ball the other way. Here he even shows bunt and takes high.
Well, if he does bunt it, it's an easy base hit. They are way shifted over, and now Max is coming in a little bit to respect. Will he do it again?
But Jack Flaherty's looked a whole lot better than he did his last time out so far.
He really has. And you go to work in that time off, you look at film and you try to get your mechanics back on plane, and that has showed up in his fastball already. Electric, late life, and you know he can throw the breaking ball.
That's crazy, but it's happened a few times this year, John, where it'll drop down to 90, 91 one start, and he says that he just feels out of sync with that delivery. And it's like, okay, it seems like where there's smoke, there's fire, but then he'll come back in the next start, and it's way up.
Well, he's such a good athlete. Making the adjustments should be easier to him. But it's still never fun to not have your best stuff going into a postseason start. And there's nowhere to hide, nowhere to go, and just got to make necessary adjustments. He's done it.
Trying to bounce back from those 8 runs in 3 innings in Game 5 against the Mets. Home with another 1-2 to Rizzo. Popped out of his hand. It's been drastic one way or the other. He got blown up in that Game 5, but in Game 1, 7 scoreless innings. And that fastball you're talking about, that was his best pitch that day.
It's so important that he gets innings tonight.
Rizzo ricochets it off him. Flaherty runs it down but has no play, and Anthony Rizzo's got an infield hit.
Luckily that got him on all of the shoe. I think it didn't get the shin or the ankle. Caught the bottom of the shoe. That's, if you're going to get hit, that's where you want to get hit. But you know, we followed the Dodgers this whole postseason, and it's really been their bullpen and timely you think 4 innings. When you hear it at home, you're like, 4 innings, how hard is that for a starter to go? Well, given all the injuries, that's a way better than 2-3 innings. And they're hoping for 4 or 5 tonight, because what it does is it sets the series in motion for how Dave Roberts is going to use his electric pen.
Anthony Volpe here with a runner at first, nobody out. 23-year-old shortstop has been at his best so far in his first October. On base all 9 games this postseason. We saw earlier this year, John, he had flattened his swing, got a little bit too uppercut as a rookie last year. It looked awesome, but it came and went. Well, it's back.
It is back, and good timing for him and the Yankees. It's no different than a pitcher. We talk about the front side staying in as a pitcher. The front side of a hitter and not opening too soon is huge. And when you get in that bad habit, you then can't reach anything outside. You can't go the other way. You swing and miss on breaking balls. So keeping that front shoulder in, staying on the ball is the term. That'll serve him well.
1 ball, 1 strike. Volpe takes a curve for a strike. 1-2. It's the hobbled veteran first baseman providing the first hit on both sides. Freeman with a triple. Rizzo with his infield hit. The 1-2 to Volpe is a fastball that misses away.
That was such a great pitch because he was expecting spin and he locked him up and just didn't get the call. The curveball gives Volpe some issues. See how his hip first move is to go to third base? He would have been locked up if that was called a strike.
On a 2-2. He swings and misses. A curveball retires him, and Flaherty's got his second K. We take a look at Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud, giving the Yankees 46% chance to score 5 runs. Why is that? Well, they average 5 runs per game in the regular season, and so far in the postseason, they've done it more often than not. Here's one of the breakout stars from the regular season in Austin Wells coming to the plate. The rookie catcher took over the cleanup spot midway through the year. But back to the end of the regular season, he's in a 5-for-74 slump.
Yeah, and this is why he's been moved down. Now, he did respond with a home run when he got moved down, but here's the part of the order for both ball clubs that getting on base, turning the top of the lineup, is huge. You've got 8 and 9. Now, Flaherty can get out of this inning without facing the top of the Yankees lineup, but it's the bottom that's going to be so important for each club.
Here's a 1-1. Wells swings and misses. That's where teams have gone. And isn't that what happens, right? The league finds what your weakness is, and they're going to go there until you cover it up. That's
the name of the game. That's baseball, and that's why it's a cruel sport, a game of failures.
1-2. Flaherty to Wells with a 2-2, and it's chopped over Freddie. Freeman, long run for Gavin Lux. Freeman now back to the bag, and into scoring position goes Rizzo. 2 away. 2 gone in this second inning. It's Alex Verdugo in his first season with the Yankees, and playing his old team here, back where he began his career in L.A. So the 9-hitter for the Yankees with a chance to get him on the board first. Pinpoint from Flaherty in strike 1.
Yeah, he's been struggling of late and really been doing his work on off speed. You saw that first pitch fastball right down Broadway, sitting on soft stuff.
They're just 194 in this postseason for Verdugo, but the defenses continue to be really good. And they got enough big bats in this lineup where they've been able to live with that. Trying to get it turned around to Torres at the top of the order. The 1-1. Verdugo grounds it up the middle, but a perfectly positioned Tommy Edman. The Dodgers swept the Yankees in that 63 Fall Classic. Ball 1 to Max Muncy as Garrett Cole goes back to work.
Sometimes when you're pitching, the team will give you cues to what to look for. In the first inning, 3 of the first 4 batters swung at the first pitch. Tells me the Dodgers are going to be aggressive. On a team that really is not that aggressive on first pitches, Garrett Cole, you got to read what's going on, especially when it's this big of a moment, and what the team's trying to do against you.
His 2-0 to Muncy is a curve in there for a strike. And statistically, we've never had a World Series matchup with 2 teams this good at that patience and power combo. And I would think for a pitcher, this is extra hard work.
Sure is. I mean, you got to basically approach every hitter like a 9th inning batter.
Little pop-up, foul ground. Jazz Chisholm runs over there and makes the grab. So they get Muncy for the first out of the second. Let's meet the umpiring crew. Big deal for these guys as well in the World Series. Mark Carlson has been in the World Series a couple times, but he's the crew chief for the first time. And Carlos Torres calls balls and strikes.
See, this guy at the plate right now, you have to be on alert. He wants to swing at the first pitch. And if you're going to throw a first pitch fastball, it better be away, because we know the electricity in his bat, the 15 home runs in the postseason speak to it.
And he has hit Cole hard in his career. Fouls back that first pitch fastball.
Yeah, I mean, look, teams are going to come across with approach because they've studied video, they have the information. And when you're facing Garrett Cole, you really don't want to get to too many two-strike counts. So, again, that's what I'm seeing early. Dodgers are looking for fastballs, trying to hit them.
And now breaking pitch popped up. It is going to reach the seats. Let's check in with Tom Verducci.
Yeah, what a thrill for home plate umpire Carlos Torres, the first Venezuelan-born umpire to call a game in the World Series. Also the first graduate of the MLB training camp development program. It was designed to give minorities a better pathway to Major League Baseball.
What an honor for him. Behind the plate, game one of the World Series. Hernandez on an 0-2 is down on that high fastball, and there he turns it up to 97.
I'm telling you, he's got it. He's learned since getting hurt how to monitor his velocity and the effort and pitches. I think it's the way to go. I think he'll learn so much and be better for it. Everyone wants to be 100%, but nobody's 100% at this time of the year, even if you're coming off an injury.
Cole comes home to Will Smith and misses away. The Dodgers have been unstoppable in this postseason, even though their catcher, who's normally a huge part of the offensive equation, is hitting just 158. Did have a home run in game 6. Dodgers hopeful that's a turning point for him. Big week for Will and his family. His wife Kara gave birth to a baby girl yesterday. So the World Series is the second biggest thing that's happened to him this week. Cole's 2-0 pitch. Smith takes ball 3.
I tell you, it's tight. I mean, that strike zone is not an inch or two either way. This pitch is on the outside corner for a strike, but called a ball. It's a hitter's strike zone tonight.
Garrett Cole went 7 innings in the clinching game in the division series against Kansas City. Game 2 of the championship series, though, Cleveland really made him work. 6 hits, 4 walks in that game. Didn't get out of the 5th. Kind of how his regular season was. Flashes of dominance, but up and down. He missed the first half of the season with an elbow issue. Started to look more like himself as the regular season went on. When he's right, this is part of a dying breed here. An ace-like pitcher that can put his team on his back. And if he can do that here, a chance to really bolster his Yankee legacy. .34-year-old in his 12th big league season. Home with a payoff to Smith. And he got him with a fastball. No score. On to the 3rd. Jack Flaherty goes back to work. Top of the Yankees order. Gleyber Torres swings at the first pitch. Diving stop deep in the hole from Tommy Edman. Long throw, not in time, and an infield hit from Torres.
I mean, regardless of this outcome, what a play by Edmonds. That's so deep in the hole. After making a bad hop error, he makes an almost incredible play. Now I'm interested as Soto comes to the plate, Joe. He's been so patient. At some point he's going to come out of that patience and try to drive a first pitch and try to shock the system of where everybody knows he is. He won't chase too often and he won't be aggressive too often. You've got to pick your spots if you're Soto.
First one from Flaherty. Popped out of his hand, ball 1. Sent the Yankees here with that pennant-winning home run. An at-bat that Aaron Boone said was an at-bat for the ages, and kind of a snapshot of the beautiful hitter that he is. Fouled off 4 pitches in a row, waited for that fastball, and drilled it to end that series. Ball and a strike.
So that side of the plate is where there's going to be an inch or two.
Yeah, it's kind of been all over. I know mostly tight, but there have been a few that have been a few inches off that he's given pitchers. Juan Soto on his 26th birthday, one of the best young hitters the game has ever seen. And that is him at his best right there.
Well, it is, and he definitely locks in. But at some point for Jack Flaherty, he's got to pick his spot to show him slow, 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 and speed him up at some point on the outside part of the plate.
2-2.
And there's the perfect example. Slow and then slower.
Jack Flaherty threw that curveball more than he has any other start in his career. Game 5 against the Mets. Torres at first, a leadoff single. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Soto. Flaherty throws and Soto takes ball 3. And there's the Soto shuffle. Some of the best theater in baseball as well, watching this guy. You can't help but watch him and smile. I'm sure it'd be different if you were a pitcher facing him, but I just love watching this guy. You talk about fearlessness, conviction, intensity in that batter's box. It's rubbed off on this whole team.
He's so good though with 2 strikes. He spreads out. He doesn't use his legs. He trusts his hands, and he can still hit for power with 2 strikes.
Bounces this one towards the middle. Edman to the bag. Running throw for a double play. But Tommy Edman has been busy so far in this game.
Well, they've had him placed perfectly behind the bag. Both balls that were hit up the middle. Got a Dodger player there to take care of it.
Dodgers have been the most effective shifting team in baseball in recent years. And the data wins them one right there. So they get the bases empty ahead of Judge, who swings and misses at a first pitch fastball. On an 0-1. Swings and misses again. There have been way more swing and miss, way more chase in this postseason than you used to seeing from Judge.
And you know they're talking to him about it after every single game. That's what the postseason can do. And you've got to clear your head and be the beast you were in the postseason, in the regular season, and know that you're going to win every matchup. Right now, the pitchers have had an advantage over him.
Oh, 2. Judge pokes it foul. Flaherty struck him out in a breaking ball the first time. "32 years old in his 9th season, finally in the Fall Classic." Another 0-2 from Jack Flaherty. On a 1-2, Judge swings and misses.
Back here at Dodger Stadium with Dodgers manager Dave Roberts. Dave, Jack Flaherty, 3 scoreless innings. What do you like most about what you've seen so far?
I think just the pitch execution. I think the stuff is really good. You know, he mentioned the last game that the game sped up a little bit on him. I think right now he's really in complete control. Made a big pitch to Soto right there. I think the spin's good. I think the fastball's playing up. So right now I feel good about where he's at. Even the pitch count's right where it needs to be.
Freddie Freeman, what was your reaction seeing him leg out that triple?
Yeah, you know, I'll take 90 feet every time I can get it, but I would have sort of been content with the stand-up double, but he's a baseball player. He legged out an extra 90 feet, and the swing looked good, too.
Dave, how much fun are you having right now? Knowing it's stressful, but how much fun?
I'm having a blast, Kenny. I'm not showing it very much, but I'm having a blast. This is this is what you live for, and I'm excited for the players. I'm excited for the fans.
Dave, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I think everybody feeling the same way. These iconic franchises waiting and waiting and waiting, and for so long it was a formality that they were going to meet before too long, with 11 matchups in a 40-year span. 43 years since, though. Lux lifts this ball to right center field. Juan Soto drifting back for the first out of the third.
Well, and both franchises have such iconic history and players, right? You're going to have your Sandy Koufax, of course, here in L.A., Reggie Jackson, so many people who have factored into this incredible matchup that's 43 years in the making, which is hard to believe.
And it's two franchises, always World Series or bust, and that feeling is as strong as ever for both these teams. You got the drought the Yankees have gone through. They got their stars in their prime. You have 1 year of Soto guaranteed. You don't know beyond this year. Tommy Edman takes a strike. Dodgers, the recent postseason disappointments. You bring in Ohtani. And so you've got those World Series or bust expectations in this head-to-head collision, with these teams having broken through to get here. They're now 4 wins away from a parade. The ball and a strike on Edman.
And in a game where the young player has had such an impact and been so great, these are the two oldest rosters, basically the two oldest rosters in the league. And a lot of veterans, a lot of guys who have been through the battle.
Cole comes home with a 2-1. Tommy Edman pops it up. Right side of the diamond. Rizzo the call and the catch. So 2 gone in this third inning as Ohtani comes to the plate. This truly is a World Series. Billy's Sports Bar in New York, not too far from Yankee Stadium. And the tradition in Japan has become breakfast and baseball. It's 9:57 in Japan tomorrow morning. Yeah, they are watching the Dodgers and Yankees. Game 5 of the division series, it was Yamamoto against Darvish. It was the most watched major league game ever in Japan. And you figure those numbers are going to get shredded in this fall classic.
Yeah, well, first pitch fastball that he almost hit out of the ballpark. Let's see what Garrett Cole tries to slow him down on the first pitch, or if he goes right back up there. He elevates a lot of fastballs against Shohei. And threw a cutter, so good choice of pitches. Looks like a fastball, but then is able to not square it up and foul it off. For Shohei Ohtani, there's no one real great way to get him out. But what you have to do, and what the Padres did, is slow away, then up and in, trying to get his eyes in 2 different places. And there's the changeup for Slow. Because he's so good at handling the fastball in the zone and can go to all fields for power, you have to get him to see velocity at some point, but then that velocity becomes harder after seeing a changeup.
Takes that cutter upstairs. He's ahead 2-1. After the Padres really pitched him tough, he set a postseason record against the Mets, reached base 17 times, including a couple home runs in that series. No score, bottom 3, bases empty, 2 away, and a 2-1 pitch to Shohei Ohtani. Oh boy, had one right there.
We were joking when we came out into the postseason. We were just like, I wonder if Shohei's going to be nervous, never being in the postseason. Well, he answered that question, an astounding no.
It's funny, the press conference right before the first game of the postseason, because this is his first time in the playoffs. They asked him, are you nervous? And before the interpreter could interpret, he said, nope. Understand it in perfect English. Didn't want to wait around to get that translation. Swings and misses. Cole breaks off a nasty curve to finish him off. Well, what a difference. After giving up 8 runs in 3 innings in his last start, no runs in 3 innings here in Game 1 of the World Series. And the hometown kid delivers to another one, and Giancarlo Stanton, ball 1. Stanton reached on an air his first time after his 4 home run championship series. Yeah, lifts a fly ball to right field for Mookie Betts. 1 out in the 4th.
Well, he really is doing a good job mixing and matching his pitches, throwing enough fastballs we talked about for strikes, and mixing in that breaking ball.
Let's go down to Tom Verducci.
Thanks. With Yankees manager Aaron Boone. Aaron, you guys are seeing a lot of spin from Jack Flaherty. The velocity's up on the breaking ball. How do you see the approach of your hitters against it?
Yeah, all right. I do feel like he's spinning the ball pretty well. Ausmus and I were talking about that. Like, he's got a pretty good breaking ball and a little more power than obviously we saw out of him in his last start. So looks like he's in command so far.
Your starting pitcher, Garrett Cole, 6 of the outs on elevated heaters. What stands out to you about his stuff?
I like he's under control. He's established his fastball and now starting to mix in some of his secondary stuff that's looked good to me too. He seems to be in control.
Aaron, thanks so much.
You bet.
Couple quick outs in this 4th inning for his counterpart in Jack Flaherty. Yeah, now Anthony Rizzo has got one of the 2 Yankees hits. I mean, this is heady stuff for both these guys. We talked about it off at the top. You got Cole pitching for the team that he grew up dreaming of pitching for. Jack Flaherty's first time at Dodger Stadium came before he was old enough to even realize it, when his mom brought him in a onesie when he was 6 months old. He'd come to more than 100 games here as a kid. He'd go to like 20 games a summer. When he was in high school, he pitched a shutout and drove in the only run in a sectional championship 1-0 win. And now he's on the mound for the Dodgers in the World Series. I mean, that is pinch me stuff for both these starting pitchers, on top of managing all the emotions you're already going to have on this stage.
Yeah, well, they made the trade to get him over here to help that staff that was bruised up, and already delivering in a World Series start after we talked about having a clunker. And that's the sign of a pitcher making necessary adjustments on the next start if you're given that one.
Let's go over 2-1 to Rizzo, and gets a chase. 2-2.
I mean, he didn't strike out a single guy in his last start.
He only had 2 swings and misses. Rizzo pokes this one to left field. Teoscar Hernandez is there, and Jack Flaherty's got the good stuff back tonight. And leading off this 4th inning in a scoreless game. Strike 1 from Garrett Cole.
Yeah, good luck making the pick between the 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you could go wrong, but they complement each other. One right-handed, one left-handed.
And Mookie Betts fouls this one off, and it's 0-2. 6 years in Boston. Hard to believe that he's now been in LA for almost that same amount of time. This is his 5th year here with the Dodgers. He won a World Series in his first year in 2020. And I think because of the attention Ohtani gets, it now feels like Mookie Betts has become underrated, underappreciated for the total package that he is. And an 0-2 from Cole. Betts watches it break away.
Great pitch. And yeah, you're so right, because Mookie in his previous team played one of the hardest right fields in all of baseball, right? I mean, Fenway Park has got that huge, and he's such an elite defender. But the amazing part is he went to shortstop.
Yeah.
He was playing shortstop most of the year. He can do it all. He's gone to second. He has such an ability to affect the game both at the plate and on the field.
From 0-2 to 2-2. Always disciplined Betts. Cole fires, and Betts pokes it down the right field line. On comes Soto, still coming. And Rizzo over the shoulder makes the grab. Lost the hat to get a little better view right there. And pump of the fist, fired up that he was able to pull that one in.
This is such a hard play. Big first baseman running out there back towards the catcher. The pitcher rarely is happy when your first baseman is running like that to catch a ball. But he is appreciative. You got to get those kind of outs. You can't let soft fly balls fall in.
Both these veteran first basemen making impacts in this game, although hobbled. Freddie Freeman on the bad ankle had a triple in the first inning. One of the best hitters of this generation, model of consistency, 300 hitter for his career, and a model of dependability too. If he misses games, you know the injury is serious. He had missed 2 games total his first 2 years in L.A.
Well, the one thing about sports, we'll never know about everybody because no one's going to tell you what they're feeling like and explain and make it sound like an excuse. But when your teammates know that a player is going through what he's going through, not only do you gain respect, you have no more excuses.
Breaks his bat. And the bat goes flying out there by Rizzo. The ball dribbles along first. Destroyed this thing.
Yeah, right off the end. That's what happens when it hits off the end. Almost cut in half.
Delayed that bad boy. Freeman's been going through like a 4-hour pregame routine with the physical therapist Bernard Lee just to get the swelling out of that ankle, just to get the pain down to the point where it's bearable. And at first it was just running that was bothering him, but it started to bleed into his swing as well. Another 0-2. Another broken bat. This time it's a fair ball, and Rizzo takes it to the bag. Freddie Freeman to go months at a time without breaking a bat. Cole breaks 2 back-to-back pitches.
Because the barrel of the bat's coming out towards him, so he couldn't cover first base. But you talk about satisfaction and taking the bat out of someone's hand like Freddie, that is satisfaction.
Garrett Cole's just given up 1 base runner. 3 2/3. He struck out 3, not walked anybody. Bases empty, 2 out here. Tasker Hernandez lined out his first time.
Well, also what he's doing is he's commanding the first pitch strikes. 10 out of 13 first pitch strikes. You've got to set the tone as a pitcher against a great lineup. We talked about it in the beginning. Both pitchers have done that. Both hitters, both offenses look like they're at the mercy of the pitcher right now.
12 seasons in the big leagues for Garrett Cole. Pirates to the Astros and then to the Yankees on that record deal. 5 seasons with the Yankees, as good as advertised. 2nd in wins, 4th in strikeouts. Won a Cy Young last year. And I'll try to pitch him to a world title. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hernandez.
And you know, both teams had the first round bye, right? That's been an issue. That's rare that we get. It's the first time since the new playoff format we get 2 of the best records in the World Series. But they both had layoffs after their wins again. So maybe navigating that helped each team deal with the offense that really is sitting at bay without live action.
Here's a 2-2. Hernandez lays off because these are 2 lineups coming in, clicking on all cylinders if these pitchers are slowing down.
Yeah, you can never predict how you're going to win. But if you knew how you were going to win, you'd like the series to go long and not have as many days off and just keep clicking.
Hernandez, 33 home runs during the regular season, included a couple against the Yankees back in June. Pops this one into shallow center field. Actually won't even make it that far. Volpe at short will end the 4th. Bottom of the Yankees order, Jack Flaherty, strike 1 to Anthony Volpe. Flaherty's in his 8th season in the big leagues. Debuted when he was 21 with the St. Louis Cardinals. He had a few years there. He was one of the most dominant young pitchers in baseball. The Rookie of the Year votes. He was top 5 in Cy Young voting his 2nd year, but then years of dealing with injuries, and that hit a low point last year. He had a 5 ERA. Cardinals shipped him off to the Orioles, barely factored in for the Orioles down the stretch. Strikes out Anthony Volpe on 3 pitches, and that is a testament, John, to how different he is right now, because Volpe has not been able to be retired like that this postseason. You got some celebrities in the house per usual. Billie Eilish and Phineas. Will Arnett taking this one in. Brett Paisley do the anthem. John Legend, wonderful voice as well, is here, and a couple football guys, Jack and Jim Harbaugh. Jim's Chargers 3-3. Strike 1, and man, the swing and miss through the roof.
Yeah, he's been in total rhythm, total command. The fastball, his curveball, his front side has been so far more connected than it was before. And man, does Dave Roberts have to like this performance.
And then he'll start to get into a spot that he didn't have to have too many tough decisions in during the championship series. Look, he managed that beautifully, but a lot of times the game was lopsided one way or the other. And it was totally clear which way to go. Now here, you're going to have the top of the Yankees order coming up very soon. Wells is the 8-hitter. You got Flaherty looking good, but Dave Roberts always aggressive with that bullpen. Both starters in game one up to the challenge, up to the honor. Game one of the World Series. Wells, who grounded out his first time, waits on this 1-2. Flaherty's gone from that 5 ERA last year to the best he's been in years this year. 13-7. ERA right around 3. Signed a 1-year contract with the Tigers. Traded over here to the Dodgers just minutes before the deadline. And where would LA be had they not made that deal? Probably not here. Back-to-back Ks on swings and misses.
Well, to show you how uncharacteristically it is for the Dodgers to see a starter go this far, coming into the postseason, they did not average. They didn't even average 4 innings out of their starters. We're just a click below 5 innings for the Yankees. So that's the disparity that coming into this postseason, people were talking about. How does Dave Roberts navigate the World Series when you don't get length out of your starters? Well, first question has been asked and answered tonight.
Away to Alex Verdugo, ball 1. Championship series on both sides. There was not a single game where both pitchers went 5 innings.
It's crazy how it worked out. But you're seeing a confidence and a rhythm of a pitcher that typically wasn't there in the last start, and the bullpen had to cover a lot of those innings. Right now, nobody.
Verdugo just past Edman into center field for a 2-out base hit. Alex Verdugo singles just by the shortstop Edman, and they get the top of the order to the plate here.
Verdugo stays back and goes the other way. Edman's been busy already.
So 2-out single for Verdugo, and up comes Gleyber Torres. Hit it hard both times. Lined out his first time, had an infield hit his second time up. And there's a front door curveball for a strike.
Torres has done a much better job this year at cutting down his swings and misses. He was in a bad funk the last couple years, and now looks more like the guy that many people have traded for. And he's responsible for some World Series championships out of it.
Yeah, he's already sort of helped one team win the World Series. He was the return to the Yankees in the Aroldis Chapman deal in 2016. Chapman went to the Cubs, helped them break the curse. Top prospect of the Cubs at that point. It's a big old bounce left side. Muncy somehow gets it on a short hop, and a heck of a play by the Dodger third baseman. Garrett Cole in his first World Series start with the Yankees, just 1 base runner over 4 innings. Max Muncy leads off the 5th and takes strike 1 on a fastball. Muncy coming off a record-setting championship series, reached base 17 times. Bunts this one foul, and it's 0-2. We've seen a couple big hitters square around a bunt.
Yeah, Muncy, if he has one issue against right-handed pitching, it's that big curveball that he'll swing over the top. He likes to stay in the zone with his bat, and the curveball gives him issues because it's in the zone top to bottom a long time.
See what Cole goes with on this 0-2. Turns it back up with a fastball.
Pitching's all about creating illusions to the hitter. You want him to think in an area and then trick him with another pitch, thinking it's going in that area but moves away from it.
Got him to chase the fastball.
Loves that pitch.
A strike on Kike Hernandez. Garrett Cole, another guy pitching for his favorite team. He grew up in Southern California, but he took after his dad Mark, who's from Syracuse and a lifelong Yankees fan. That's the first game that he's pitched in the World Series for the Yankees, but the first one that he went to was as a fan. The World Series in 2001 in Arizona. He was sitting there as a young kid. Quickly ahead of Kike Hernandez, 0-2.
You've heard me say this before. When pitchers are in a zone like this, it's fun to pitch because you're not waiting in between too long. But you know what the downside is? You're not getting any runs either to work with. So pitching in a game locked up 0-0, in the perfect world, you'd love to get through 6, and then your team gets that bonus run and a jolt of energy goes through your body.
He looks so calm, too, like he's hardly sweating.
That's a good sign.
Dodgers have not put much stress on him. Just the triple from Freeman back in the first. Struck out Hernandez with a high fastball the first time. High fastball is punched towards the right field corner. Soto on the move, won't get there. Extra bases for Kike Hernandez. Headed for third with a second Dodger triple to this ball game.
Well, he might have gone up there with an idea to hit a high fastball because that's exactly what he did, and he didn't try to pull it. You know, if Soto maybe could do this over again, he would have played this for a double. But there's the high fastball away. He goes with it. Perfect head down, barrel to the bat. But then once this ball gets by Soto, he can't slow down. And he can't get back to the ball in time to prevent it from being a triple.
So now the infield comes in behind Garrett Cole. Runner at third, one away. Will Smith at the plate. Will Smith has more sacrifice flies than any player in baseball the last 5 years. How you pitching him in this situation?
Well, he got the first pitch by him, and that was the one that you got to establish, and then you got to start breaking the pitches away if you don't go in with a fastball, because Will Smith's looking for something up to lift. And that's the perfect pitch. The fact that he didn't swing at it, you can be frustrated if you're Cole, but you just know that that's the pressure you put on a hitter. That looks like a fastball, and it just was such a good pitch, it freezes Smith.
The 1-1. Will Smith lifts it to right field. Soto's over. He makes the catch. Here comes Hernandez. Here comes Soto's throw. Bang, bang, but he's in safe. And the Dodgers have broken through in the fifth. Will Smith, so reliable through the years, gets the job done, scoring Kike Hernandez. Dodgers have the game's first run.
Well, a good pitch and a great piece of hitting. He may not have a lot of hits in the postseason. He's got walks, and you talk about his timely sac flies, putting the ball in play. That's what these teams do so well.
And that's the part of it that we haven't touched on as much. Yeah, there's the power and there's the walks, but they marry that with the ability to put the ball in play. Lux with two-way takes the ball, because a lot of times you see teams that are going to sell out for that power. They'll take their walks, but it comes with the strikeouts. You don't win championships if the strikeouts are part of the equation.
No,
too.
you don't. You don't at all.
Anthony Rizzo over there for it looks like a little pep talk, which he's been known to deliver through the years. Anthony Rizzo's got a World Series ring and famous for his motivational talks during that World Series with the Cubs, where they were on the brink of elimination, and he put on the Rocky music in the clubhouse, stripped down naked, climbed on a table, and gave this half motivational, half comedy sketch routine. They won that game, did it again for Game 6 and Game 7. And he was in Garrett Cole's ear right there. Fully clothed, though. 1-0 to Gavin Lux. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, these teams are so evenly matched. I look for so many different disparaging statistics, and you can't find them. They're 1-2, 1-3, top 5. And when they score first, they're 2 of the best teams in baseball. The Dodgers this postseason 5-1 when they score first. So getting that point on the board, very important to both teams.
And then so many similar characters, too. You know, you got the 2 biggest stars, and we touched on the parallels of Soto and Betts. This veteran first baseman fighting through injuries, the struggling offensive catchers, even the managers, former postseason heroes, now shouldering the pressure of leading these great franchises. They're both managing spectacularly to get their teams here. The 1-2 to Gavin Lux. Lifted to center field for Judge. Yeah, And Flaherty's left out there to face the heart of the lineup. Strike one on Juan Soto.
Flaherty's done an unbelievable job with that pitch right there. Fastball strikes are way up, 21 out of 30. It sets up his breaking ball. It's why he's given up no runs against the Yankees. You know, this is the first time that we've been covering, following obviously the Dodgers, where Dave Roberts is really going to be given some tough decisions. It's 1-0 and you think, well, what tough decision could it be to leave Flaherty in the game when he's rolling? Well, he's got a bullpen that's outstanding, and what Dave has shown, he's not afraid to go to his leverage arms at any time he sees a crack or a moment to let the bullpen do the rest.
We've got a run of 4 left-handers out of 5 hitters at the bottom of the order. That's what Anthony Bond would be for. 2-2 on Juan Soto. This is the one guy that he crosses his fingers that he can get through, because then you've got righty-righty against Judge and Stanton.
Well, right now he is on point and not shown anything worthy of taking him out of the game.
Soto with a base hit to center field to open the 6th. On a 2-strike pitch, waits on it to land and bangs it through the middle to lead off this inning.
The reason to follow up, I say these are tough decisions, because when Dave Roberts goes to his bullpen and his assets, you've got to win that game if you're the Dodgers, because if you use all those assets and lose, as you see one of the greatest hitters in the game with 2 strikes, you know those guys are going to have to pitch a bullpen game. That's why it's tough. It's not in a regular season game. You would never even consider taking Jack Flaherty out of this game.
Judge at the plate, ball 1. So leadoff single from Soto. And Judge hitting with a man at first. He struck out both times in this game, and in 15 of his 33 at-bats in this postseason. Two and 0.
Got a chance to talk with Reggie Jackson today, and he's synonymous for one of the greatest postseason hitters of all time. And he talked about his will and want to, and facing great pitchers, not being afraid of the moment, and trusting that he was going to barrel up a ball every time he went to the plate. For Aaron Judge, that narrative is growing against him, and you've got to flip that narrative by trusting your regular season. He's not afraid of the pressure. He's handled the pressure. 62 home runs, wearing the jersey, doing what he did in New York. This is not about pressure. This is about mechanics. And you get a little out of kilter sometimes, and you start trying to make things happen. But you look at what he's done, 62 home runs. If you had pressure built on you, you couldn't get to 62 home runs.
American League record 2 years ago. This season, by many measures, was even better. You know, another thing Reggie Jackson always said is that as long as you have that bat in your hand, you can write the story.
They talk about runners in scoring position, and it's the greatest line ever. Reggie said, runners in scoring position. When I step in the box, it's runners in scoring position, because I'm going to put one over the fence.
Mr. October did 5 times in 2 World Series against these Dodgers, including that 3 home run game to clinch the '77 Classic, helping birth that legendary nickname.
But it truly is a mindset. It separates players at this time of the year because it's so different. The hyper focus, pitching against you is going to be so different than it is in a regular season game.
Payoff. Judge is down swinging for the 3rd time. Flaherty got a fastball by him for his 6K.
I mean, this is just a great pitch. It's on the outside part of the plate after spin. You could see he's late, in between a little bit, trying to fight it off.
Now it's Stanton. Swing and a miss. Started him with a breaking ball. So many times in this postseason, Stanton has been the man for these Yankees. It was Soto that won Game 5 in extras, but it was Stanton that got it there with a game-tying shot in the 6th inning. One of his 4 home runs in the championship series. Flaherty's 0-2 is very high. Good job by Will Smith to go up and catch that ball, keeping the tying run over there at first base. Tying run at first. Go ahead run at the plate. Stanton golfs one way back there, scraping the sky and giving the Yankees the lead. You deliver this time of year, you can rewrite your whole story. As long as you've got the bat in your hands, you can write your story. And Stanton continues to write one of a spectacular October for the Yankees.
First two of those, he swung and missed and looked horrible, but the fastball up was just a waste pitch. And if you're guessing along with Stanton, you're almost guaranteed to see another breaking ball. The difference, that breaking ball was up just enough for that massive golf swing.
You look up Majestic in the baseball dictionary, you're going to find a shot of that home run.
The reason I say that the high pitch was a waste pitch, it was nowhere near a competitive pitch. It's the only mistake that Jack Flaherty has made. He pitched a perfect game up until that swing when he had him 0-2. He had 0-2 and then came right back with the pitch that he swung over the top. Most home runs are hit like that by him.
It flips it around and it ends Jack Flaherty's night. Dave Roberts going to make a change after ball one to Jazz Chisholm. And Giancarlo Stanton, who grew up coming to games here with his dad, dreaming of one day doing things like that, has done it in the World Series and given the Yankees a 2-1 lead in the sixth.
I mean, that's about as big a wow factor as you'll see in a crowd that, although be it only 1-0, one swing changing everything for the Yankees.
Anthony Banda comes in, and here it's a 1-0 count. Pours in a strike to Jazz Chisholm. You got the run of left-handers right here, and Dave Roberts goes to one of the two lefties he's got in that pen. You know, the rotation decimated by injuries this year. This bullpen has been the saving strength, covering about 60% of the Dodgers innings this postseason. Banda 1.59 ERA, 6 games this postseason. 2-2 on Chisholm. And the top guys, when he goes to his top arms, almost untouchable. A 0.84 ERA for the top 6 arms in that bullpen. Banda's 2-2. Chisholm pulls a bullet into right field for a base hit.
So I want you to watch this at bat, this pitch sequence, what Stanton was able to do. 2 first pitches are going to be breaking balls below the zone. Swing and a miss, look bad. Here, even look worse. But this pitch right here, if it's not a competitive pitch, it resets Stanton. And he stays inside the ball in an inner half curveball and just absolutely devastated this crowd and the Dodgers.
Freddie Freeman, all he can do is admire it. Soaring home run, a 2-1 lead for the Yankees. We mentioned that Giancarlo used to come here games with his dad when he was a kid, and they'd get here in time for batting practice, run around the left field pavilion to catch souvenirs. And on one of those trips, he said to his dad, "When I grow up, I'm going to hit one completely out of this place." And Dad kind of laughed, like, okay. But 15 years later, with his dad in the stands watching, he did just that. He homered over the awning of the left field pavilion here. One of 5 guys ever to do that. Manifesting it, really. Yeah, joining the list of Stargell, McGuire, Piazza. Fernando Tatis Jr. has since done it. There goes Chisholm from first, and he's stolen second easily.
And I got to say this about Stanton, one of the most maligned Yankees because of his injury past. He's had so many injuries. Last year was not a good year. He found a way to stay healthy and make some adjustments. He's been a pro's pro to every teammate that's been around him, and his manager has said the way he's handled and the way he's gone about it is no surprise why he's doing what he's doing right now.
17 postseason home runs. He's in his 15th season, 7th one in New York, and you're right, so much of the story has been about the frustrations and about the injuries, but now you're talking about 17 home runs stacking up right there in Yankees franchise history, and in postseason history, period. He's #1 all time, homering once every 8 at-bats, just ahead of Babe Ruth.
I mean, he looks like a football player playing baseball, and that's why most people are like, man, how can you not stay healthy? Look, you look like Adonis. Well, it has been that kind of track record that now he's not dealing with, and the Yankees are glad about it.
Banda's 1-2 to Rizzo. Swung on and missed. Got a chase for strike 3. Yankees 2, Dodgers 1. Top of the 6th. Anthony Volpe's the hitter. And they're going to put him on intentionally and go lefty-lefty against Austin Wells.
Well, the Yankees played kind of an opposite series of what the Dodgers played. They were in a lot of tight games. They played a lot of exciting baseball. Maybe not so exciting for Aaron Boone, but they won a lot of those games on hits like that and late. And that kind of works when you keep playing in the World Series. You know you've done it and you can handle it and come up with those big hits.
So after the intentional walk, here's Wells out of the 8th spot, 0 for 2 today. Yeah, the Yankees, as this ball kicks away, nobody's going to move. But the Yankees, all 9 games in the postseason decided by 3 or fewer runs. Well, the Dodgers, they're coming off the most lopsided postseason series ever.
It's amazing how it's been opposite ways to get to the finals. And that man did a great job with all that he had going against him with the injuries. And then Aaron Boone with all the pressure to get to the World Series. One of them is going to be super happy to relieve the amount of pressure, the mountains worth of pressure that the expectation has been put on both franchises, and especially the Yankees, because they made the monster move to get Soto for this very moment to win a World Series this year.
2 on 2 out. Bond to Wells with the 1-1 pitch. Wells bounces one towards the middle. Diving stop by Tommy Edman to save a run. He's been all over the place in this game, and no bigger plays than that one.
I mean, this guy's relentless. You knew the Dodgers valued him, and they were trying to get him forever. And when they made the trade for a guy who's been hurt most of that year, and now he's playing in such a role to not only be the MVP, but he can play center field, he can play shortstop, and he just saved a run.
So instead of a 3-1 Yankees lead, bases loaded for Alex Verdugo. 9-hitter for the Yanks, 1 for 2 today. First pitch. Outside, ball 1.
Verdugo looks like he waits as long as he can to pull the trigger of the bat. He just sits there, floats a little bit, and then lets it go.
2 hits and a walk have loaded him up, and now Verdugo takes a strike, 1-1. You know he'd love to do it to his old team. Traded him away from here in the Mookie Betts deal. And then traded from Boston to New York.
Really doesn't matter right now the year he's having, right versus left pitcher. Pretty much the same.
And 1-1 from this lefty Banda. Verdugo fouls it off, and it's 1-2.
Well, that was his pitch, and he's going to know that he just missed a golden opportunity. For Banda, he's going to have to sweep this breaking ball way off the plate like he did against Rizzo. Leaving another one in the zone will be not so good for the Dodgers.
Bases loaded, 2 out. Alex Verdugo down on a high fastball. Yankees lead for the first time 2-1 as Tommy Edman leads off this 6th against Garrett Cole and takes inside, ball 1.
Well, just like Jack Flaherty, Garrett Cole's fastball command has been outstanding. 74% strike percentage against a really good offense.
So if tonight's game ends in a walk-off, Capital One will donate an additional $10,000 to the Jackie Robinson Foundation as part of the Capital One walk-off program. To date, Capital One has donated more than $1 million to the foundation to support its programs and initiatives. Ball and a strike on Edman. There's ball 2.
And I feel like since the first inning, Garrett Cole's fastball has gotten better and better. The first inning, it was flat. The Dodgers hit some rockets and got some outs. But ever since then, whatever adjustments he's made and sitting back on that back leg and throwing that fastball more effectively.
That's down the line and a fair ball from Tommy Edman. NLCS MVP, valuable again in Game 1 of the World Series. A leadoff double, tying run in scoring position for Ohtani.
This guy just keeps doing it. Fastball, inner half that he pulls down the line. And this time it's a double. I thought we were going to get our third triple. And now, for the first time, really, that's only the third hit for the Dodgers, so there hasn't been a ton of traffic for Garrett Cole. But we talked about the bottom of the order, creating stress for the top of the order for the opposing pitcher. I'd say it's here right now.
How about the rampage Ohtani's been on in these clutch situations? 18 of his last 23 with runners in scoring position. Ohtani pops it foul, strike one. Fly to center his first time, struck out his second time. This is what he always wanted, a chance to play in the postseason. Didn't get that in his 6 seasons with the Angels. First season with the Dodgers, first postseason, and now first World Series. Bounced over the mound. It short Volpe. Close play in time.
Wow. I mean, look, for those of you who haven't seen Ohtani play, he can fly. The stolen bases are only one aspect that tells the story, but he gets down the line about as fast as anybody. But watch the arm and the late velocity that Volpe throws when he gets to Rizzo.
Volpe's been so good defensively in his 2 years up. Here's the same situation the Dodgers cashed in on last inning. Runner at third, one away. Infield pulled in. Mookie Betts at the plate with a chance to tie this game. And a first pitch curve for a strike.
Well, typically most pitchers with the infield in are going to pitch out of the stretch, but Cole feels best out of the windup. The reason you pitch out of the stretch, you hold the runner at third. So the Dodgers have a choice here. I don't think they're going to be going on contact because you got Freddie Freeman behind you. With the infield in, when you go on contact, as soon as the bat makes contact to the ball, you take off no matter where it's hit. I think they're going to wait to see if it goes through to send Edman.
Mookie Betts swings and misses. Good pitch from Cole.
There's that breaking ball that just top to bottom disappears.
Betts 0 for 2 today. Top 2 in the Dodge order. 0 for 5. Tying run at third. 1 gone, 6th inning. 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
Mookie's so tough too because of his discipline. You could tell he kind of wanted to go for that outside fastball but held off.
On this 2-2, he fouls off a high fastball. 99 from Cole.
Well, he missed location. He went in the right spot to freeze Mookie. He tried to get the ball in and freeze him. Everything's been away. That sign that the glove was in, but see how he pulled it away, and it allowed Mookie to at least foul that ball off.
After the fastest pitch of the night from Cole, another 2-2, and Mookie Betts scorched to third, and it's Chisholm off a bounce to get him. Hot corner, extra so with him pulled in front of the bag, in a position that he had never played before coming to the Yankees at the deadline. He comes up huge.
I mean, you talk about fast reactions and a good glove. You mentioned it, not really his position. And as soon as Garrett Cole heard that bat, that's not a good sign for a pitcher. But it's even better when his teammate picks you up.
And so it's up to Freddie Freeman. Strike one.
I wonder at some point in this at bat if they'll really try to focus inside with fastballs with Freddie. We talked about that front foot getting down to the pull side power.
Freeman hits a towering fly ball to right field. Juan Soto's going back. He's got room. And Garrett Cole pitches around the leadoff double to keep the 2-1 lead. It is Brusdar Graterol to pitch the 7th inning for the Dodgers. Delivers ball 1 to Gleyber Torres. This is interesting right here, John. This guy has not pitched in a month, and he's dropped in here to face the top of the Yankees order.
Well, he's got an electric fastball when he can command it, and of course he can spin it with everybody in the bullpen. But this is the scenario we talked about. Dave Roberts in a close game. And which assets would he go to either keep it close to let his offense catch up, because these are the kind of games that they weren't involved in. And the reason it's so much worth saying is because the bullpen has to pitch a full game at some point.
We contact in a bare hand play by Brusdar Graterol. Cool as a cucumber. I don't know if you teach that, but he looks like he's in a rocking chair out there pitching in the World Series.
Well, he pitches like he's in a rocking chair, and if he drops this ball right here, you're not going to get too many praises coming from your manager. So good thing he caught it.
Nice.
And threw it to first with no issues.
Missed a lot of this season with a shoulder issue. He comes back and in his first game injures his hamstring. They said that his year was done. He makes this crazy recovery from that, but then gets hurt again. This is his first game since September 24th. And it's not just in the World Series, but it's Torres, Soto, and Judge at the top of the Yankees order. Ultimate wild card here for Dave Roberts.
Well, we asked him, you know, what do you expect from a guy that really hasn't pitched? He said, I'm not worried about his head in the moment. You just wait to see what kind of stuff's going to come out. And like I said, he's got a $1 million arm. It just seems so easy for him to throw 98, and he does look like he's having fun every time he goes out there. Maybe sometimes too much fun.
Yeah, geez. Alex Vesia, who missed the championship series, back for this World Series. Soto tries to check his swing, but he goes around and it's 2-2. It's worth mentioning Evan Phillips is not on this World Series roster, out with a shoulder issue, and so that's part of the reason too why you see Graterol.
Yeah, that was a big blow to the Dodgers. They got that blow with Vesia the previous series, but they traded Vesia coming back for this series.
2-2. Soto takes ball 3. Single and a run scored for Soto.
We could save so much time in the future and just start Soto with a 3-2 count every time he comes up.
Payoff. Another payoff. Soto pops it up. Tommy Edman with an easy play. 2 up and 2 down for Graterol. Well, if tonight's game ends in a walk-off, Capital One will donate an additional $10,000 to the Jackie Robinson Foundation as part of the Capital One walk-off program. To date, they've donated more than $1 million to the foundation to support its programs and initiatives.
I'd be careful on a first pitch fastball to Judge here from Graterol. I know he struck out 3 times.
Ooh, what's a fastball?
Man, when a guy is struggling, the last thing you want to do is get him going on the first pitch. Now, he got away with it, but this pitch was right down the middle. You want to keep spinning the ball to Aaron Judge.
Yeah, it's shot through the middle. Base hit on a fastball.
Yeah, that's just not being in the moment right now because you missed a lot of time and paying attention to how the other hitters were getting him out. And you never know what's going to get a hitter going. After 3 strikeouts, he hits a fastball, although being in the park, probably over 100 miles an hour through the middle of the infield.
You know, as overpowering as the stuff seems from Graterol, he's unconventional because there's very little swing and miss. Yeah, and a 2-out base runner here. Now he's got to face Stanton. 2-run home run his last time up. Each of his last 5 hits have been home runs.
2-seam fastball, a lot of movement, but that less swing and miss out of Graterol.
Swing and a miss right there. Brusdar Graterol, who had the #1 ERA in baseball last year, at a 1.20 ERA, injured most of this season. Trying to give him a jolt here in the World Series. His 0-2.
Boy, what a count this would be for Judge to go on a 2-2 count. 1-2 count, sorry, 2 outs.
10 stolen bases this year. And now time is called by Doug Eddings, second base umpire.
But not taking the risk when a guy that could one swing of the bat put 2 more on the board. So pretty much think he was anchored at first base.
Overthrows that one.
Well, since I thought it was 2-2 last time, now it is 2-2. Usually a good count if you are going to run, but no signs of that yet.
Struck him out with the fastball. Garrett Cole to Teoscar Hernandez. Strike one. Orange Lutheran High School to UCLA to the World Series at Dodger Stadium, and man, has he been good.
He really has. Ever since the first inning, it has been electric stuff, and he's turned it up when he needs to, and he's mixing in that curveball. Talked about the curveball being such a key because of the elevation of his fastball. You want that separation from the top of the fastball down to the bottom of the breaking ball. He can mix in his slider, which he makes some adjustments on it. He left a couple sliders up, and since then, he's been on point.
The 0-2 to Hernandez. The breaking pitch taken for a ball. We've seen a little bit of everything from Garrett Cole in this postseason. As you see Clay Holmes getting ready. A couple rocky starts. Had the great one in the clinching game of the division series. He's looked more like that guy tonight. Into the seventh. 2-2. Checking with Tom.
Well, we talked before the game about the galaxy of stars between these two teams. How about the alignment in that last half inning? A Cy Young winner on the mound, tying run at second base, 3 consecutive MVPs coming up. Garrett Cole retired all of them on 3 different pitches, none of which was his best pitch, the 4-seam fastball, all secondary.
And it's kept the Yankees in front.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. And again, I think he's learned a lot. It's one thing to be Garrett Cole with your A stuff and not hurt, and you can rely on just the gas whenever you want it, but he hasn't been able to do that for this year. And I think just the ability to learn how to get hitters out a different way has been impressive to watch. Hey, look, I mean, this stat kind of blew me away when we were pre-gaming this. The Yankees have a stretch now of 7 consecutive games that their starters have done something that you would have assumed there'd be a lot of this. 4 innings plus consecutive with 2 earns or less given up.
Full count on Hernandez. Well, we said it off at the top, John. If these guys pitch the way that they're capable of, they don't have to be superhuman. If they just pitch the way they're capable of, this becomes the biggest advantage in this series for either side. Well, Garrett Cole setting that tone so far tonight. His 3-2 to Teoscar Hernandez is into center field and a leadoff base hit. For a guy who's had so many big hits for this Dodger club in his first year in LA. That may be it for Garrett Cole. Here comes Aaron Boone after the leadoff hit from Teoscar Hernandez. Left-handed batting Max Muncy's due up. Now, one of the key things in this series, John, which version of Clay Holmes do the Yankees get?
I'll tell you what, he is so nasty and can be so unhittable. And you're right. There's times where he's locked in and times where he's given up a lot of hits.
Max Muncy takes ball 1, and it all comes down to that sinker.
Yeah, he's got Blake Trinan type stuff for the Dodgers. You'll see him in this series. That sinker that moves, the breaking ball that's just all crazy break.
Tying run at first. Go ahead at the plate. It's a breaking pitch high. 2-0. Clay Holmes, a 2-time All-Star, as the closer of the Yankees. Lost that job as this year went on. Heavily used in this postseason and looked good early on, but I think he'd run out of steam by the end of that championship series. Perhaps the week break, a good time for him. 2-0. Almost hit him. Up to second goes Hernandez. In fact, it did hit Muncy. Tying run into scoring position, and the go-ahead run is aboard as Holmes has not looked good through 3 pitches.
I mean, that curveball is like it stuck to his hand, and the pitching coach is going to come out and recognize something right away. This breaking ball just got away from him. Almost, if you're the Dodgers, you wish it didn't hit him, and you got an advanced base, and Muncy's still at the plate, but still pressure.
Now you've got Kike Hernandez coming to the plate. Tripled and scored the Dodgers run in this game. Take a look at Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. This one looks at the Dodgers, 64% chance to get a run to tie this game up. Around 500 this season in close games. They got the guy at the plate who has risen to the occasion time and again in this postseason. Below average hitter during the regular season in his career. A monster in October.
Well, it's not impossible that he squares around and bunts.
Yankees certainly think so. Rizzo's about halfway to the plate.
And the reason I say that, if a guy's struggling to throw strikes and you square around, it's a nightmare for the pitcher because he sees the barrel of the bat over the plate. And as a bunter, you can recognize strikes easier that way than if you're in your full stance. So it'll be interesting to see what Dave Roberts asks Kike Hernandez to do right here.
I mean, Rizzo's about to come into this screen right here. He's so close. He still lays it down, and it's perfect. Rolls to first in time. Anthony Rizzo is like 30 feet from home, and Hernandez deadens it along third to advance the runners to second and third.
Well, a great scenario here for another guy that has shown you he can put the ball in play and drive in a run. Perfect bunt. And a good play by the Yankees to defend it.
Now, what year is this, John? We got starting pitchers going into the seventh. We got sacrifice bunts getting dropped down. Tie and run 90 feet away. Middle infield back. Will Smith pops it up on the infield, and Anthony Volpe will put it away. 2 gone. Huge out for Clay Holmes.
Huge out, and that shows you how much his sinker moves. That ball was going to be squared up by Smith, but the late movement gets that perception of where he thinks the ball's going to be and just eats him alive. Gets inside of the barrel on the handle, and temporarily a gigantic out for Clay Holmes.
And now he'll face Gavin Lux. So Smith, who was able to get the job done with the sacrifice fly in the 5th inning, unable to do it here. Looks like that may actually be it for Holmes. Aaron Boone's coming out of that dugout. Tommy Canley. Gavin Lux is due next. It's righty-lefty, but with his changeup, they like him in that matchup. Yankees 2, Dodgers 1. Tying run 90 feet away. Go-ahead run in scoring position. Back in a moment. Dodgers have Hernandez at third. They've got Muncy at second, and Gavin Lux coming up against the changeup expert, Tommy Canley.
Well, you just wonder if he's ever going to divert and throw a fastball. He would have everybody fooled because he's thrown over 40 changeups in a row. And so Gavin Lux knows that information. It comes down to execution. It comes down to high adrenaline, but a low heartbeat if you're going to get out of this situation for Tommy Canley.
Bottom of the 7th inning, 2 away. Lux taps the first one foul.
He throws a power changeup, and that's all he's thrown the last few outings.
How can he get away with that?
Well, nobody makes an adjustment and changes, so you're basically in your same stance every single time. Nobody moves up in the box to take away the depth of that changeup, and it's working.
Here's his 0-1. Lux grounds one gently to second. Torres has it over to first in time. Support of Garrett Cole, who has left this game with a 2-1 lead. Alex Vesia for the top of the 8th.
I honestly think, I know fans of each team don't want to see these kind of games every single day because it's heart-wrenching, but this is what you're going to see. These two teams are so even. It comes down to executing.
Ball and a strike on Chisholm.
And so far the Dodgers have had the opportunities to execute, and what they did so well in the previous series, got to give the credit a little bit to the Yankees bullpen and Garrett Cole for preventing runs from scoring with runners in scoring position.
And the Dodgers' first 2 rounds hit about 300 with runners in scoring position. 0 for 6 tonight. And 0 for 5 the last 2 innings.
Yeah.
Vesia, who is a key part of the Division Series roster, wasn't on the Championship Series roster because of an injury. One of the best relievers in the National League the last couple of years. Comes home to Chisholm with a 1-2 pitch.
Yeah, so tough on lefties. He's falling towards third base, but his stuff is just so tough to pick up for left-handed batters.
Got a fastball by him. Well, one gone in this 8th inning. Came at Yankee Stadium back in June. Carlos Rodon's pitched well in this postseason. Before the series shifts back to New York for the middle 3 games. Rizzo here with the bases empty and 1 away.
You know, they did a tribute to Fernando Valenzuela, and what I got a chance to see him up close. He was one of the most unique pitchers, beloved. Sad to lose him the way that we have in Dodger country. Obviously, getting to see one of the greatest left-handed pitchers be so unique, and people don't know he could hit.
Yeah,
I mean, he could hit, and he comes in with a 8-0 record. Look at that. I mean, that is insane to break in to the league in 1981.
Surprise starter on that opening day because several other guys got injured, so he said, yeah, I'll take the ball, and pitched a shutout. 7 complete games out of those first 8 starts. Began with that surprise shutout on opening day. It ended against the Yankees in the World Series in 1981 with that wonderful performance he had in Game 3 to turn that series. He was on short rest and threw 147 pitches on a day where he didn't have his best stuff. Gave up some runs early on in the game. And Fernando said that looking back was his most special moment. That Game 3 where it wasn't his prettiest line, but where he dug deep and helped turn that series.
Well, he's so unique. He looked to the sky before he would throw, and it was really one of the first left-handed screwballs that nobody could understand or see or feel for the longest time, and he will be missed, but forever Dodger lore.
Payoff to Rizzo. At the knees to get him. 2 out. Earlier today, as part of the Fall Classic Legacy Initiative, MLB and the Dodgers hosted a special event at Clifford Elementary School where funds will go towards renovating an outdoor reading space. You can go to MLBtogether.com to learn more. 2 up, 2 down in this 8th inning. Anthony Volpe, the hitter. The Dodgers in the bottom of the 8th, 9-1 and 2 coming up. Edman, Ohtani, and Betts. There's nobody warming in that Yankees bullpen, so it looks like it will be Canely for that group. One.
There's nowhere to go with Vesia. 143 batting average against his fastball, 114 against his sliders. In other words, good luck.
Gets both sides out, pretty much even splits. His 1-1 to Volpe is downstairs for ball 2.
Just missed below the zone.
2 balls, 2 strikes. In the air to center field. Hernandez twists around. He gets there. And Alex Vesia's got a 1-2-3-8. 9-1 and 2 for the Dodgers here. Tommy Edman will bat right-handed. Switch hitter chooses to go righty-righty. Doing his best to take away that changeup from Canely.
Yeah, as a left-hander, the changeup fades away. As a right-hander, that changeup's going to come into him. So we got to look at one of them. You just wonder if he's going to sit on one because that's all we've seen.
Ohtani on deck. Dodgers down a run in the 8th. Edman chops it foul, and it's 0-2. The Dodgers were so good with runners in scoring position the first 2 rounds. Last 2 innings, great chances. Had a leadoff double from Edman in the 6th inning, and the MVPs at the top all down in order. Yeah, the first 2 on last inning. Successful sacrifice, but stranded at 2nd and 3rd.
This next changeup really should be nowhere near the strike zone. It should start low and see if he can get Tommy Edman to expand the zone down.
Tommy Edman leads off the 8th for the Dodgers. Bounces one towards the middle for Volpe.
Well, they got away with it. That was right down the middle, but he grounded it straight into the ground. And here we come, the matchup that everybody's looking forward to. Ohtani trying to tie it up for the Dodgers. And Canely throwing changeups.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get. He's faced him a couple times in his career. He's 0 for 2. Ohtani in his first World Series game. Takes a changeup, ball 1. 0 for 3 today. He's got Mookie Betts waiting behind him. The Dodgers' years have fallen short. Ohtani, a whole career of missing out on the postseason. Lifts this ball to right center field. Soto on the run to the track. It's off the top of the wall. Ohtani's headed for second. Soto's throw not in time. The ball gets away. Ohtani takes third. 90 massive feet. Just misses a home run. It's a double, but then he takes third as the throw kicks away coming into the infield.
Well, he gets a changeup up in the zone, and you mentioned it, just misses. This ball bounces right into the glove of Soto, and it looked like he had a little trouble right there getting it out. But this was hit so hard that Soto didn't have a chance to get back there and get it, and then had a little trouble in the transfer, and then the ball short hops Torres, and a heady Ohtani goes to third.
And so for the third time in as many innings, 3 consecutive innings here, the Dodgers have had a runner at third, less than 2 outs. Mookie Betts will come to the plate against a new pitcher for the Yankees. Aaron Boone out there to take it from Tommy Canely. And he's going to his closer. Here comes Luke Weaver. Game 1 of the World Series, a thriller. Mookie Betts takes strike 1 from Luke Weaver.
Tough situation here, to state the obvious, but Luke Weaver is going to try to create an inning without giving up that run. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to create an inning that ends up giving up multiple runs. Even if Ohtani scores, the game is tied.
Infield pulled in. Weaver fires. 1 ball, 1 strike. Late season makeover this bullpen. Weaver goes into the closer's role and has been awesome. Tying run here in game 1, 90 feet away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mookie Betts. Betts pops it foul.
The first pitch might have got a call and set up the rest of this at bat. It was low. Mookie thought it was low, and the strike call gave a break to Weaver. The difference with Weaver and Canely, they have a changeup that are both great, but Weaver will throw the fastball and he will mix it up to create stress for the hitter.
Looking for a strikeout. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Betts lines it to center field. It's Judge to pull it in, but it's tied as Mookie Betts drives in Shohei Ohtani. On a pair of sacrifice flies, the Dodgers have just enough. Tied at 2 in the 8th.
Well, that low fastball that got called for a strike. It was a low changeup that Betts went down to get and smoked it to center field. Great at bat. And this pitch down, but see how he keeps his head down. And Betts pumped up. Game 1 of the World Series.
And one of the great duos in the game combined to tie it at 2. Freddie Freeman. What a game this has been.
All those opportunities the Dodgers had wasted, they did not waste that one. The speed of Ohtani, the power, and putting the ball in play to the right part of the field for Mookie Betts.
Now Freddie Freeman, who has tripled in this game, flies it to center field. Judge has it spotted. The call, the catch, and 8 innings in the books in game 1. Or an error moved Ohtani up to third, and then Mookie Betts tied the game with a sacrifice fly. 2-2 to the ninth, and Michael Kopech, who's another one of those high risk, high reward plays here. He can be wild. Misses with the first pitch.
RPM early, fastball 100 miles an hour, but can he get it down? He comes into the game. Sometimes it's locked and loaded, and he's untouched. But then there's times where the command and the fastball doesn't go exactly where he's intended. Then something locks in with a man on or two, and then he gets right back in the strike zone.
The regular season, postseason combined after coming over from the White Sox, 5-0 with a 1.23 ERA. Part of a huge deadline day. Brought him Tommy Edman, brought him today's starting pitcher Jack Flaherty. It's Austin Wells leading off this ninth inning for the Yankees. Bounces one to second for Gavin Lux. One gone in the ninth. And we look back at Ohtani's double, which added an extra 90 feet here with the ear on Torres.
Yeah, so you can only argument you can make is maybe Rizzo could have been in the middle of the field. The pitcher's over at third base backing up a possible triple. Now the ball's in no man's land, and Ohtani is able to pick it up at the right time. This short hop, maybe you get in front of it, but not getting that ball blocked ultimately allowed Ohtani to get to third.
So, John, you've got a mistake right there on a middle infielder for the Yankees. Cost New York a run. 3 innings ago, Tommy Edman, a diving stop on a ball he had no business getting to save a run. The defense, the invisible hand, the difference in this game at this point.
Well, and this, because you're so tightly contested between two teams, those are going to be the little things that people forget could cost you or win you a World Series.
Alex Verdugo, 2-1. The 1-2-3 inning here would be extra nice for Michael Kopech. You avoid facing Soto and Judge this inning, and you have a chance to not have to face him until tomorrow if you can get a run in the bottom of the ninth. Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy, Kike Hernandez do up. Here's a half swing and a roller left side. Muncy's got it 2 away. So we showed the air the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the 6th, Tommy Edman with 2 outs. This diving play to keep Jazz Chisholm from coming in to score.
Yeah, normally the base runner gets that head start with 2 outs and keeps going around the bag. But good third base coaching, keeping him at third, and great infield defense keeping the runner from scoring.
Back to the top in Torres. 2 gone and a tie game in the ninth. Then ball 1 from Kopech. Gleyber Torres, I mean, what a roller coaster of a career he's had. He broke in those first couple of years, 21 years old, an all-star, and then years of hearing trade rumors, just barely hanging on, but surging here in October. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You cannot have a big swing against Kopech. You will not hit the ball, meaning the bigger the swing, the harder you're trying to hit it. It just doesn't work well with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. You've got to be short and quick and let his power be your help you out as a hitter. Because if you try to generate that power by having a big swing, you're going to miss the ball. You're going to be underneath. The fastball has an illusion that it rises out of Kopech at times.
Here's his 2-1. Gleyber Torres lifts a fly ball to left center field, headed deep there. It is gone with some help from a fan.
They're going to call that fan interference.
He reached over, and immediately the call from the left field umpire, Chad Fairchild. So instead of a home run, they'll place Torres at second.
They'll review it. It's close, but it's going to probably stand, as that ball would have hit the top of the wall. And here's a scenario now where Dave Roberts will be forced to make a decision, and he's probably going to walk Soto if this stands and face Judge. So they'll take a look at it.
Of a potential home run, the call on the field is fan interference, and the batter was awarded second base.
All right, so that is the call on the field. That guy's just making a reaction, reaching there, catching, and then he froze, and he's like, oh my goodness, what have I done?
Well, the one thing about technology, I guess, with StatCast and everything, you can kind of find out how far that ball was going to go.
Yeah.
If you need a tiebreaker.
Yeah, we have the would have been a home run in Name the Park. Well, would have been a home run in Dodger Stadium. Replay review presented by Zoom.
But here's what Dave Roberts is going to be faced with if this call stands and it's a man on second. He's not really, I don't think you can pitch to Soto. Pick your poison.
He's got Blake Trinan warming. Kopech in the game right now. He's got Trinan warming. Kopech better against lefties. And again, the call on the field is that this is fan interference, and I just don't know if you can. There's enough on video there to overturn that. So it looks like the Yankees are going to have Torres at second, and the score will stay tied at 2.
After review, the call on the field has been confirmed. There was spectator interference. The runner is placed at second base.
That's excellent work by that umpiring crew to have that in real time. Chad Fairchild out there in left field with the extra couple umpires in the postseason right on top of it. So let's see, with Soto coming to the plate.
It's an easy decision.
You put him out
Yeah,
and you're going to Judge.
It's not even a decision.
Soto that sent the Yankees into the World Series with his pennant-winning home run in Game 5 against the Guardians. And Judge is in the dirt circle at the same time. He didn't even put the 4 fingers up there. He's so sure. Dave Roberts will make the change and go Trinan against Judge. We've waited 43 years for the Dodgers and the Yankees to face off in the World Series again, and it has been worth the wait here in Game 1. Tied at 2. Go-ahead run in scoring position, and Aaron Judge in his first World Series at the plate with a chance to be the hero. Pinch runners into the game. This is Jason Dominguez representing the go-ahead run. Pinch running for Gleyber Torres. They've put Soto on, and John, they're choosing Blake Trinan against Aaron Judge.
Well, the big thing is it's only happened 3 times all year where they have walked Soto. Think about that. That is incredible. And with Stanton behind Judge, a lot more safety.
2-2 game, 2 gone in the 9th. Aaron Judge, strike 1 from Blake Trinan, who's been the best reliever in baseball for the last 2 months.
Yes, and he's going to throw a lot of those breaking balls. It's a frisbee breaking ball with incredible sink to his fastball.
Here's the 0-1. Strike 2.
Starts at the right-handed hitter and breaks so much you can't believe it.
Three consecutive breaking balls. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Yankees have gotten here without Judge doing a whole lot, but it does feel like it's a matter of time before he has another moment. If the Yankees are going to win this whole thing, he's going to have a say in it. 2 on, 2 out in the 9th. Popped foul. Had one to hit right there.
Oh, he did have one to hit. And again, when you're a little bit off in your timing and they're pitching you as tough as any batter in baseball right now, you just can't afford to miss those pitches. Now, on the flip side, he's seen enough of those breaks in a row. The more this at bat lasts, the better it gets for Judge, unless Trinan sneaks a fastball by him.
1-2 comes home. It is a fastball, and it's popped up. Left side of the diamond. Tommy Edman sends this game to the bottom of the 9th. Oswaldo Cabrera into the game at second, so you can put him in the leadoff spot in the Yankees order where Gleyber Torres was. So here we go. Fasten those seatbelts to the bottom of the 9th. Luke Weaver against Teoscar Hernandez. Muncy and Kike Hernandez to follow. 1 ball, no strikes.
If you got 2 different fastballs, you want to favor the 4-seamer over the 2-seamer. He stays on that pitch really well, the 2-seamer, and he handles the changeup against right-handers, which is pretty rare for right-handed hitters.
1 ball, 1 strike now. Hernandez 1 for 3 in this game. Dodgers got a run in the 5th and a run in the 8th, both on sacrifice flies. Led the National League in home runs this season. 33 of them from this guy. On a 1-1 pitch. Hernandez takes ball 2. That man there, Max Muncy, has a walk-off home run in the World Series in his career. Ended the longest World Series game ever. 18 innings back in 2018 against Boston. On a 2-1. Hernandez fouls it off, and it's 2-2. That fastball catches a lot of the play, but guys just don't pick it up.
Well, he's got a sneaky delivery where it looks like it's not going to come out like that, and then you couple that with that changeup right off the fastball, which is the equalizer for left-handed hitters. But he has been outstanding since going into this role. Maybe the most unlikely guy when you think about their roster and what they had created, but timely for Aaron Boone that he found a hot guy at the end of the game.
2-2 bottom of the ninth. Teoscar Hernandez leading off for the Dodgers. Weaver throws a shot to right center field, but Soto's there. 1 out. First pitch, Muncy takes a strike. Dodgers won it all in 2020, looking for their first World Series win in a full season since 1988, where in Game 1 Kurt Gibson launched a walk-off home run. The walk-off home run. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Only at bat of the series. Was a good one.
On 2 bad legs. He hobbled up there. Off Eckersley. Muncy against Weaver. Is ahead 2-1. On a 2-1. Muncy looks at ball 3 taken off. Kike Hernandez due next. The pitch. A pop fly into shallow right center field. Cabrera, fresh into the game, is under it, 2 away.
What a 3-1 pitch. A changeup that looked like a fastball. That he got the pop-up against a home run hitter. That was a great pitch under circumstances. There's the grip. It was a high one, but the change of speed is all he needed to fool Muncy, and you could just tell.
2 up and 2 down for Weaver in this ninth, and it's Kike Hernandez. First pitch, very high. The heat of the postseason, we see it transform guys in both directions. And for Kike Hernandez, a home run in both series so far, 15 postseason home runs in his career. One ball, 1 strike. If Weaver gets this thing to the 10th inning, Yankees have Stanton, Chisholm, and Rizzo due up.
I mean, he relies on his fastball and that changeup.
A crack bat flare, shallow left field. Verdugo coming on with a diving grab. Alex Verdugo continues to sparkle defensively. Blake Trinan stays in after he got Aaron Judge to get out of a 9th inning jam. And here we go with the 10th. Strike 1 with that video game slider. Home run for Stan, his 17th in the postseason in his career. And unstoppable in October. Jeez, oh Pete, so you got the slider breaking one way and then the sinker coming back like that. Good luck.
Well, and that's why he's so tough. I mean, experienced guy, been through this before, covers both sides of the plate, and has the hitter completely guessing.
Home with an 0-2. Strikes him out. The sweeper breaks 15 inches on average one way. The sinker breaks 16 inches on average the other way.
It's just a guy who knows how to manipulate the baseball, and certainly for the Dodgers, you know, they don't want this game to go much longer. Of course, they want to end it as quick as possible. This will be the last inning for Blake Trinan.
1 away, tie game, 10th inning. Jazz Chisholm's up. Takes ball 1. Dodgers have the bottom of the order due up in the bottom of the 10th. Smith, Lux, and Edman, and if they can get the 4th guy up there, that's Ohtani. Chisholm in the 5 spot. 1 out of 4 today. And a 1-0 pitch. Pulls one through, and he's got his second hit. But Tutzel hustles over to cut it off and hold him to a single.
That may not look like much, but Betts cutting that ball off was huge. I mean, he got to that ball in a hurry and prevented a double. And here's the issue now for Blake Treinen, trying to hold a guy who can run, because getting on second base would be huge for the Yankees.
Anthony Rizzo at the plate. Checking him right away. 8 stolen bases in 9 tries against Treinen this year. Chisholm's got great speed. Yankees only have 5 steals in this postseason. Jazz has 2 of those. Rizzo, who's 1 for 4. Takes upstairs.
You haven't followed baseball all year. Pitchers can only throw over twice. And if they throw over the 3rd time, they have to get the runner out. In other words, they got to pick him off. Otherwise, he goes to second, considered a balk with the new rules.
There he goes. Stare down from Smith is not in time, and Jazz Chisholm is stolen second. Go ahead run into scoring position for the Yanks.
And now the pressure will be on the middle infielders to keep Jazz close to second. Stealing third's not out of the question either. And that responsibility will go to Edman.
Anthony Rizzo on a 2-0. Takes ball 3. After Rizzo, it's Volpe. Well, both these teams have had chances in this game. They're going to put Rizzo on intentionally here. And so first and second, looks like it's going to be Jake Cousins for the bottom of the 10th for the Yankees. Smith, Lux, and Edman do up. Mark Pryor for a visit here, Johnny.
Yeah, it's a good visit. And the reason being, Volpe has really struggled against breaking balls. That front side's opening up again. So I would think it'd be a simple reminder that you make breaking balls away. That's how you get them out.
We started the night talking about made-for-movie stories with the starting pitchers. Some made-for-the-movies thing right here, too, with Anthony Volpe, who was born and raised in Manhattan and then New Jersey, from a long line of Yankees fans. Like a million other kids, he wanted to be the next Derek Jeter. Well, he's the 1 in a million who's grown up to become the shortstop of the Yankees.
The key in this situation as a hitter, you only pull a bad breaking ball, but you should go up there on a breaking ball thinking center to right center. What that allows you to do is track the ball longer and keep the barrel in the bat. If you try to pull that pitch, the break is absolutely impossible for that barrel to make the contact unless it's a hanger in the zone.
8 of his 9 hits in this postseason have come off fastballs. Chisholm singled, still second. Rizzo put on intentionally. And the game on Volpe's plate. Tied at 2 in the 10th. Treinen throws. Volpe takes a breaker for a strike.
That first move, again, that you just watch the hip, and as a pitcher and catcher combination, you're going to watch how he's reacted to the previous pitches, and then you really don't need to deviate much. Keep making those kind of pitches and see if he can make the adjustment.
Great speed at second. Go ahead run. Treinen will take a peek. Arms for the Dodgers in the outfield. Decent in left in Teoscar Hernandez. Good in center in Kike Hernandez. And decent in right Mookie Betts. They play shallow. There goes Chisholm. No throw from Will Smith. A big 90 feet for Jazz Chisholm.
It sure was. You had Max Muncy playing back. And now stress on the infield. They're going to have to bring him in. I said he's capable of going to third, and he did. High leg kick, and really not even an offer for Max Muncy to get to third.
Go ahead run at third. 1 gone in the 10th. 1-1 pitch. It's bunt shown and a strike taken. So 1-2 on Volpe.
You can still do it with 2 strikes. If you foul off a bunt, it's just a strikeout. But you can still recognize the pitch and still put this ball in play if he decides to square around for that safety squeeze.
Indefensible if you put it down right. Infield in, 1-2 pitch. He was going to swing away, took a breaking ball outside, and it's 2-2.
I'm just telling you, the way he's reacting to the breaking ball, it wouldn't be a bad play. With 2 strikes, you can see the break better, and you can put the ball in play. But he almost went after that pitch, which was way out of the zone.
First and third, 1 gone in the 10th. Trinan looking for a K is 2-2. Ground ball, diving stop. Edman can't get it out of his glove, and the Yankees take the lead. They get the out at second, but Chisholm's in to score. He singles, he steals second, he steals third, and he scores on a ball that doesn't leave the infield. 3-2 Yankees in the 10th.
Went with the sinker, almost an incredible play. And right here, Edman says, my only chance is to turn 2, but he didn't come up with the ball clean enough. They went with the sinker after all the swings and misses on the breaking ball. And Volpe was ready.
Anthony Volpe, the go-ahead RBI. Tommy Edman that close to making another spectacular play.
And he's going to steal second. So he's there with a bonus run now here in the extra innings. He will steal second, or at least attempt to steal second in this at bat.
Well, the Yankees have shown off a little bit of everything tonight, haven't they? A monstrous home run from Stanley, and then here the speed on the bases, which is something they've lacked in recent years. But they get that from Chisholm, getting him at the deadline, and he's in to score as Volpe puts it in play.
Again, going back to the stolen base to third. That was such a big play because now it put Dave Roberts' infield in. That would have been a routine ground ball double play, of course, if they were at least halfway or all the way back.
Austin Wells, there goes Volpe first pitch, and it's still not in time. Yankees running wild, 3 steals in this 10th against Trinan.
In the postseason, when the pressure is at the greatest, you can't shy away from doing something that the other team gives you. In this series, there are a lot of pitchers who cannot hold runners. You must take the extra base because that just adds to the narrative of pressure. And now a bloop or a single gets you an added run.
From the catcher Wells, who's 1 for 4 today. 6 of his last 78 back to the regular season. On an 0-1. Takes high. So the Yankees get a run against Blake Trinan, who had given up just 1 run the last 2 months. This is what they did against the Guardians, too. Got to that bullpen. That was one of the best bullpens in baseball all year, statistically the best, and the Yankees turned that season against that crew.
Just to remind people how important this game is for the Dodgers and the Yankees, the Dodgers have used a lot of resources. If they come back and win, it's all good. If they don't come back and win, those resources have to be pushed to the limit.
3-2 Yankees to the bottom of the 10th, and Jake Cousins on, buckling the knees of Will Smith.
Well, you know what Cousins knows. He knows who's batting 4th. You don't want anybody get on base and have the game-winning run in Ohtani come to the plate.
Cousins has 1 career save. 1 ball, 1 strike on Smith. It's a guy who was cut loose pretty much by the White Sox. Wound up being the worst team in baseball history. Yankees got him for nothing. Bigger and bigger role. And now trying to save game 1 of the World Series. His 1-1 to Will Smith. Outside ball 2.
A sinker breaking ball is going to be what he's going to try to get Will Smith, who's been stubborn on really not swinging outside the strike zone too often.
Nice pitch right there, 2-2. Smith 0 for 2 today. Sacrifice fly back in the 5th. So the Dodgers have gotten both their runs. Smith and Betts both sac flies. 2-2. Poke to right. Soto. 1 gone in the 10th. Then up comes Gavin Lux. Lux is 0 for 3 today. Hasn't played a ton lately. He's been bothered by a hip issue. He's in there every day in the division series, but only a handful of at-bats the last almost 2 weeks now.
Well, the good news for Lux on that slider that nobody's been able to hit for Cousins, at least that ball's coming into you on a break that you might be able to see in the zone.
Took the first one away.
The league's only hitting 144 off that slider. That is a virtually unhittable pitch when he's got it locked in.
The 1-0. Lux takes it inside, ball 2. The Dodgers, as you said, desperate to get a man aboard to get Ohtani to the plate here. Edman's on deck. Then it'd be Ohtani. Cousins home with a 2-0. Lux takes a backdoor strike. Got a pair of left-handers warming if it gets to Ohtani, both Hill and Nestor Cortes, who hasn't pitched in a month. The 2-1. Check swing. No swing. Ball 3.
Has stayed with that pitch. He got a backdoor 2-0 to be a strike. He tried to get the swing there and held up.
On a 3-1. Lux takes ball 4. And now the Dodgers will take just about any outcome other than a double play. Tommy Edman comes up. On this team that has Ohtani and it has Betts and it has Freeman, the guy coming to the plate here was the MVP of the National League Championship Series, and he's been huge in today's game defensively. He's also got a double. You see Hill and Cortes both ready to go for Ohtani. And Tommy Edman picked up at the deadline. What a player he's been for these Dodgers. Do you consider bunting just to make sure you don't ground into a double play?
No, because then they're just going to. I get it. In theory, you walk Ohtani and then you pitch to Mookie Betts. But in this situation right here, a walk was the one thing you didn't want to have by Cousins, because now it creates even Edman the winning run. He can hit a home run. We've already seen it. So you're at stress level that you don't want to be in a one-run game in extra innings, knowing who's on deck, but you got to take care of who's in the box right now.
And as you were talking about with the Yankees in the top of this inning, always got to have your eyes on those base runners against relievers. Lux has good speed. First pitch. Wow, strike 1. Carlos Torres has been all over the place.
Well, that side of the plate been a little more lenient.
Tying run at first, winning run at the plate.
This game's had it all, man. If you're not involved in this game as a teammate, your stomach's in knots. You actually feel better when you're in the game, but when you're watching and there's nothing you can do, man, you're rooting for the best outcome, but it's a torture.
On an 0-1. That is on the inside corner. So Edman is down 0-2 as Cousins gets a call on both sides.
Well, now what that does is put a lot of stress on Edmonds on a breaking ball on either side of the plate, right? The best place to go right now is a down and in slider to force the action now that Edmonds seen both sides of the plate a strike call. So he really can do whatever he wants. You just don't want the breaking ball in the zone against Edman.
Drop slow. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And again, the best stress would have been where that fastball was called. If you imagine starting a breaking ball on that plane, it would have put Edmonds in a total panic, thinking and trying to recognize if it's a strike or not.
Jay Cousins to Tommy Edman with a 1-2 and a ground ball right side under Oswaldo Cabrera. Lux stumbles as he rounds second and gets back to the bag. A base hit for Tommy Edman. Tying run in scoring position. Winning run aboard. And a once in forever player coming up.
Well, this breaking ball was in the zone too long. Cabrera doesn't make the play. And luckily Lux, who fell down, was able to get back to the bag. This would have been a devastating out at second.
So which one of those lefties does Aaron Boone choose to go to? He's got Hill and Cortez both ready for Ohtani. Who will it be? Nestor Cortez, who's not pitched in a month. How about this for a soft landing? Go in there and face Shohei Ohtani with the World Series Game 1 on the line. What theater here in Los Angeles?
Because Nestor Cortez, a starter that is going to be in a role to get 2 of the biggest outs and not having any action for 37 days.
Woo. He had a pinch runner at second, Chris Taylor. Arms in the outfield really good, especially Verdugo on left. So here we go. What an opportunity this is for Shohei Ohtani and for baseball fans all over the world. His first trip to the postseason, his first trip to the World Series, and in the 10th inning of Game 1, he's got a chance to be the hero.
Well, unless he hits a bullet at an infielder, it's almost impossible to double him up. So you got 2 chances to tie the game or take the lead if you figure Mookie Betts is definitely getting up in this inning.
First one from Cortez is lifted to left field. Verdugo runs over and makes the grab. Did he hold on? He did. Alex Verdugo makes the grab. He goes out of play, so the runners will get 90 feet, but they get Ohtani on 1 pitch.
This is an incredible catch, going full speed and making the catch. And then going out of play and throwing the ball from out of play.
Alex Verdugo has made a couple plays. He had a diving catch to end the bottom of the 9th. And here he goes into the first row of seats to get Shohei Ohtani. And he gets up and throws this ball in.
Well, that's
dead
what
ball once he's out of play. Waved off Aaron Boone and the training staff. And somewhat fittingly here, you know, with all the talk about Shohei Ohtani, you now have Mookie Betts coming to the plate, and they may put him on and take their chances of Freddie Freeman. But again, all the talk about the superstar at the top of the order. These guys, these former MVPs themselves, a lot of chances funneled to them. And the bases will be loaded here for Freddie Freeman with the Dodgers down 3-2 and down to their last out in Game 1.
Well, the good news here for Dodgers is Freddie Freeman doesn't necessarily have to do anything but get a single and jog to first. But beating something out in the ground will be limited because of his ankle.
Yeah, the kind of at-bat that every kid that plays baseball dreams of one day having. You tell yourself, right, all right, bottom of the 10th, bases loaded, World Series, 1-run game, Dodgers, Yankees. Reality for Freddie Freeman right here. Taylor the tying run, Edman the winning run. Cortez delivers. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Gibby, meet Freddie. Game 1 of the World Series. on an October night 36 years ago. A hobbled Game 1 hero for the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman with a walk-off grand slam to win Game 1 of the World Series 6-3 over the Yankees.
Unbelievable. Went up there looking for a pitch. He got it. There's just no way to describe. I mean, there's just no way to describe it.
Would you say you don't believe what you just saw?
Yeah.
They retire Ohtani. They walk Betts. And Freddie Freeman, who hadn't had an extra base hit in a month before today, legged out a triple in his first at-bat. And he ends this game jumping on the first pitch and launching a no-doubt grand slam that they'll talk about for ages. Down to the field with Ken Rosenthal.
Freddie, grand slam, walk-off in a World Series game.
Yeah.
Where does that moment rank for you?
Oh, I don't know. Ken, that's stuff you are 5 years old in the backyard right there. And that's a dream come true, but that's only one. We got 3 more.
Going up to the plate against Cortez, what's on your mind? First pitch.
I like that. Oh, I'm just trying to be on time for the heater. That's all you can try and do, be on the heater closer to you. Try and push, leave the cutter and slider away, and I was on time for the heater.
Now, it was nice you didn't have to run hard. How was your ankle? You legged out a triple earlier in the game.
Yeah, I actually felt pretty good. The last 6 days, we treated it really well. I've been feeling pretty good. So right when I ran out to give high fives to my teammates, I felt pretty good because that was the first time I ran all week. So ankle's good.
You ran over to your dad after hitting that home run.
Yeah.
What did you say to him?
I was just screaming in his face. I'm sorry, Dad. Yeah, he's been there since I was a little boy, throwing batting practice to me every day. So this isn't my moment. That's my dad's moment.
It's been such a tough year for you, physically, off the field with your son. Freddie, how gratifying is it just to get this done for your team?
Yeah, pretty gratifying. This ranks up there pretty high. It's pretty incredible. So it's been a long 3 months, but these fans here, when I came back that first game, they showed love. I'm just glad I was able to reciprocate tonight.
Freddie, congratulations. Thank you very much.